try to ask them, ask questions if they understood, and verify their understanding through asking another question. And enthusiastically meaning what? You must have to obtain what? Being enthusiastic. What do you mean by being enthusiastic? Being passionate, being happy, being efficient, okay, to what you are doing. Right? It must be observed to you as a speaker. Parang luya, walay gana, parang wala ka maloon sa istorya. So meaning, if you lack that ability, what the three is, so meaning you are not a good speaker. So those are the considerations. Next, there are kinds of situations wherein we find ourselves. First is interactive, next partially interactive, and non-interactive at all. So in the interactive speaking situations, this includes face-to-face conversations, wherein a speaker has an opportunity to receive feedback or responses from his or her audiences. Because a speaker can ask questions and the listener or audience can respond immediately. And that is interactive. That is when done in a face-to-face manner. And then it will happen also in telephone calls and other video conferencing. So that is interactive speaking. Next is some speaking situations are partially interactive. What situations we're going to identify here we fall under partially interactive, such as giving a speech to a live audience. Wherein, what? There's a lesser chance that you can get feedback or responses. So the convention is that the audience does not interrupt the speech. The speaker, nevertheless, can see the audience and judge from the expressions of their faces and body language whether or not they or he or she is being understood. So sometimes it is partially interactive. And the no interaction at all or non-interactive is when we receive the one-way communication. What are those one-way communications? Yes, like broadcasting, watching news, okay, watching TV shows, watching talk shows. Those are the non-interactive situations. Because we cannot give our feedback to the speaker or to the one who is listening. Next. In public speaking, since that we are talking about speaking skills, public speaking is very common as an example of speaking skill. Now, there are things that you need to avoid when you do speeches in public. What are those? Reading directly from your host or from your guide. So, as a speaker, it is very essential that you must have the mastery of your speech. If you need to bring your guide with you, do not always look on your guide because it will be considered as reading. It's no longer speaking. Also, turn back on the audience. Avoid what? Avoid hiding your frontal appearance to your audiences. And then, hands pockets. What do you mean by this? Okay, what is the implication when a speaker is placing his or her hands inside the pocket? What is the implication to the audience? What? Yes. What is the implication? So when you see a particular speaker placing their hands in the pocket, what can you say about their attitude? There's an implication. There's an implication once a speaker will place or put his or her hands in the bucket. Sige, nagkakaroon ng example, visualize ninyo. When a speaker in front will do this, you know, what can you reply? What is the implication of that? Okay, it could be arrogant, it could be bragging, or it could be all-knowing person. Because of the gesture that he or she is kind of having. Once you observe such kind of speaker na, sige, magpagana ganyan, gusto na kaya, ano ba that's good? That's what we call professionalism. So, how do you give implication to those type of speakers? So, could be, these are people who are hard to deal with, hard to believe, and even there are those people who are all-knowing and always making their accomplishment to brag. So avoid that kind of gesture behavior. So also no so avoid those kind of what people say feelers. So those are feelers. Avoid using those. And no nervous gestures. What are those gestures that may be an indication that a speaker is nervous? Handshaking. Serious, sobrang natasimuhan na. What else? Sweating. But those are uncontrollable causes of nervousness. But there are gestures that may be a kind of indication that a speaker is nervous. What is that? Extra, just okay, shaking your body. What else? Sigaw ka. Okay. Overuse your hand gestures. Kind of type of negative attitude inside or in the public speaking. Then talking too fast or talking too quietly. Right? Nagmumong sa mga pag-istorya. Okay, those are the negative attitudes or things that you should not do in public speaking. Instead, you must have to do this. Okay. Eye contact. You must have to maintain eye contact with your audiences so that your connection with them will be constant. Then glance. Have some glances only at your nose, not read your nose. Abdominal gestures is necessary. What would be the gestures that you must have to observe when you do the public speaking? What? Are you going to do this? No. What proper and accurate gestures that you have to possess when you try to deliver your speech in public. You must have the stand straight, chin up, and a little bit rest out. Okay, and then have a good posture, and then avoid extra hand movements because your hands have been placed beside. Just feel relaxed. Your hands must be on your side, and when you're going to hold your mic, you can do switching for that, and you may use hand gestures for emphasis. But maybe some point to direct your audience, so that is also important. Then you ask rhetorical questions that will involve your audiences. Might be you going to ask for their experiences, or you may ask them on their particular knowledge or their ideas on the topic that we're discussing. And these are the tips. So you must have to visualize your entire presentation from the beginning until the end. Then pull shoulders back and down. So I also be let's see this okay. Hands at your side, and then pause before starting. Then what's that? Toes pointing towards the center back of the room, and legs slightly grounded, slightly apart. Then tighten the stomach in and chin up slightly. Then verbalize key messages and maintain eye contact with your face. So those are tips. Then posture is important. This is important because we need to project and become effective in our communication. Having a good posture is a key indicator that you are a good speaker. Good posture also conveys professionalism. It shows your confidence and your authority as a speaker, and it will help you to become more likely that your audiences will listen to your speech. Then stand with feet shoulder width and shoulders back and chin level. Imagine your spine is a string and someone is holding them straight way above your head. So avoid crouching like this. It shows that you are paralyzed in speech for that moment. Okay? And physical barriers. There are barriers of speaking. We have physical barrier to nonverbal communication. Language differences is also a barrier where we cannot understand other languages. Cultural differences because of our ethnicity, because of our nativeness. So we cannot totally understand some cultures. Then also the use of jargons. Okay, those terminologies and words that are only applicable for their specific field. And when you use that in a formal conversation, it's hard for other listeners to understand. Then other words that are taboos or emotional barriers. What are these? What are taboos again? Those are those words that are not acceptable from the other group of people. And you've already discussed this one with you, if never posted blog. Wala? Taboos? Diba? Pag yung tawag taboos words, those are the off-limit words. Say, for example, ato ako Leyte, some part of Leyte may Ilocano. Manang ganito. Ako ganito. Ako ganito. Eh, kapag akong sili, kasi masumbagan niya, masumbagan niya sa Pilipinas. Kaya, hindi ba ibalik ang sili din ba eh. Kaya naman, what's the sili? Sili is the general form of meaning. Is there? Their place. So meaning, those words is a taboo for them. Meaning, you must have to understand culture and as well as learn to make some variations of the language because there are words that are not even in our context, in the Philippine context. There are words. Even there are similar words here in the Philippines, but it may vary from different places. Okay? At sa Manila, ate-ate, ako piling makalibang, pwede ka makalibang kahit saan. Why? Because, libang sa Tagalog are different. Maglibang ka lang dyan kahit saan. Diba? O Tagalog mo nabot sa Bisaya, pare-pare saan pwede mamumbahan dito. Kami yung urba dito. Diba? Because that's different words that they are not totally the same. So, might be words are taboo from the other places. So, and those topics for the speaking skills. Any questions so far? None? So, let's have a minute, please.